Hey guys, Nary here from Quinn Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Psychic Connections, Jude's Path. Man, I just love the screen. I can't wait to see what Jude's little icon looks like. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump right back into it, shall we? Okay. Alrighty, let's do it! Whoever this is better have a good excuse. I already have to be up early tomorrow for class. Dragging myself out of bed, I slowly bring myself to my door. I open it, half expecting it to be Zoe, the invasive panda. Quinn? Holy crap, what happened to your eye? It's a long story. Can I come in? Of course! The normally cheery rabbit turns behind him, looking down the empty hallways before walking into my room. My exhaustion fades as my brain runs a mile a minute, filling with speculation on what happened to Quinn. I haven't the faintest idea what could have happened, especially this late at night. Did he get into a fight? He doesn't seem like the type, and I doubt he tripped into a doorknob or anything like that. I should probably let him explain first before jumping to conclusions. Quinn sits on the bottom bunk of my bed and looks at me with a face I cannot discern. I can tell he's thinking hard about whatever it is he's about to say, but I'm going to scream if we just stare at each other without saying anything. Deep breaths. Okay. So, I got into a bit of a scuff with my roommate. It's not a big deal, though. I just need somewhere else to sleep tonight. Here I'd been thinking the worst thing about having a roommate would be them sometimes stealing your food. The last thing I'd expect coming to a college is that I could get assaulted by one of my peers. For this to happen to Quinn, one of the nicest people I've met since moving here, it doesn't seem fair. Quinn continues looking at me with tired eyes. I'm not sure how long I was lost in thought, but I feel like I should say something. Should I call Zoe? I know your phone broke, so you probably want to let the others know. No, that won't be necessary. I'm not sure what I'll tell them yet. I mean, you could just say what you told me. Nothing good will come out of it. You haven't known the others very long, and I know it might not seem like it with how we act sometimes. But the others tend to baby me at times. Aiden and Elliot are always trying to give me advice. Zoe constantly tries to fix things, while Jude just overreacts. Be honest, Mason. How do you think my hot-headed best friend would react to telling him someone hit me? Given the screaming match I bore witness to in the library, I have no doubt Jude would have words, if not fists, for Quinn's roommate. I guess you make a good point. I'm not sure if hiding it is the right call, though. I know. I'll talk with Zoe about it. She can keep a secret if I beg her to, and I'll figure it out from there. Just please promise me you won't tell Jude, at least not till I have things figured out. I promise. I'm not sure this is the best idea, but okay. I won't tell him. Thank you. It means a lot to me, really. I know I'll have to tell everyone eventually. I just don't want anyone getting into trouble over this. He seems pretty relieved about this, but I'm sure if we just explain things properly, the others wouldn't overreact. Then again, I've only known everyone for a few days. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. If I'm being honest, a small part of me wants to sock Quinn's roommate in the eye myself. I've only known him for a few days. I can only imagine what someone who's known him for a few years might feel like doing about this. The roommate can wait, though. For now, we've got to address the elephant in the room. So, what now then? Obviously you can't go back to your room. Well, I was sort of hoping I could stay here for the night. You don't have to say yes or anything. I just figured you don't have a roommate and we're both... Of course you can stay. Quinn's face lights up momentarily before pulling me into a tight hug, his face nuzzling against my neck. I didn't even think about it. The words just slipped out. Are you sure you don't want to borrow my phone? I figured there might be more people you want to talk to. Honestly, I'm just really tired. I might take you up on that call to Zoe tomorrow, though. Okay, well, is there anything you need? I can... Please, don't. I really need to get some sleep. Okay? My mouth hangs open for a moment, but I realize what Quinn really needs is a bit of space. We're both still strangers, even if he wants us to become closer. He came to me only because I didn't have a roommate. He also did just say the others tend to baby him, so why am I doing the same? Sure thing. We'll talk tomorrow, yeah? Quinn doesn't say anything else before slowly crawling into the bottom bunk. I release the tension that had been building inside me for a moment. The knot loosens and I feel myself calming down. Slowly, crawling up to the top bunk, I notice Quinn shaking slightly in his bed, his white fur quivering in the glow from the window. Part of me wants to move back down and just give him a hug, let him know that I care and that it's going to be just fine. He wants his space, though, I'm sure of it, and I should respect that. Creeping back into my sheets, my head finds its way to my pillow, and I let my eyes drift close. Day 3, or day 4. I continue to feel restless throughout the night. My thoughts keep drifting to everything that's happened. I'm definitely not going to get a good night's sleep, especially if I have to get up for that god-awful class that I thought was today. I think I'll log into the school's website tomorrow and submit my intention to drop out of the course. If I'm lucky, I might be able to switch to something else. Otherwise, I'll have to take on a tougher schedule next semester. Before I know it, my alarm begins buzzing, and I find the morning sun bleeding through my window. I drag myself out of my bed and look down to the bunk below me. Quinn is still there, sleeping soundly. I'm not sure why, but I half expected him to be gone. I've got no idea how long he'll be staying, but I feel better about him being here than rooming with some asshole who hits him. I have to get going to class soon, though. Should I wake him up before I go? He looks like he's sleeping so peacefully. I'll let him sleep. No, he looks too peaceful like that. I hate to disturb him, especially after such an awful night. I'm sure he'll know I left for class, and there's a reasonable chance he'll still be here when I get back. If he's still here, I'll have at least an hour to check in with him and figure out the plan before I hang out with Jude. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. I need to get going to class before I get too lost in my own head. Moving on to campus, I find myself still thinking about this whole Quinn situation. Did I seriously agree to not tell anyone about this? It's not like I'm going to be able to claim plausible deniability if someone figures out he's sleeping in my room. It's only a matter of time before the others figure out about this, and I have no idea how things will even be resolved. When I first came here, I had no idea I'd be caught up in anything so dramatic. I'm still not sure I should even be involved. Despite what Zoe has said, I don't exactly have proof that I'm a psychic like the others. I haven't exactly moved anything in my mind or read anyone's thoughts lately. Hey, watch it! Oh, hey Jude, sorry about that. Don't worry about it. Alright then. The two of us just look at one another before an awkward silence settles in. Why am I suddenly struggling to think of what to say? I keep half expecting him to say something, but he just keeps staring back at me. Maybe I should just say bye and head to class before things get too... Why are you spacing out? Huh? What do you mean? Well, I was calling out to you and you didn't even seem to notice me until you walked right into me. It was a little funny until now. You've been staring blankly at me like I caught you stealing something. Right. Sorry, just a lot on my mind. Do you need to talk to someone? What? Well, you've been listening to me, and I figure I'd return the favor. I could tell Jude about Quinn, but I'm not exactly sure how I'd bring that up, and Quinn did ask me not to. It's not a big deal, really. Just didn't get enough sleep. Jude looks at me with an expression of what I can only assume is doubt. I can't imagine I sound too convincing. What are you doing on campus anyway? What are you doing on campus anyway, Jude? I'm meeting Zoe to indulge her meddling, like always. Meddling? She probably wants to talk to me about Aiden. That makes sense. Zoe seems to mediate to the whole group, so of course she tried to fix the big fight from yesterday. How are you feeling after all that anyway? Fine. Just fine? How am I supposed to feel? I don't know. I just thought you'd still be mad or something. Of course I'm still pissed, but it's not like it's anything new with that mutt. Anyway, I'm not really looking to have this conversation too many times today. Right. Sorry. I guess I should get going to class too anyway. Alright. Figure I'll meet up with you after. You did say you'd come work out with me. I did say that. Are we meeting up at the gym? Nah, it's warmer today. I think we go for a run around campus. Get the blood pumping. The prospect of running around campus doesn't particularly excite me, but I suppose it makes sense. If you say so, I'll meet you around here then. The two of us go our separate ways, and I continue onwards towards my class. Once in the classroom, I take a seat next to a familiar face. I'm not positive where I know him from, but I swear I've seen him from somewhere. I open my mouth to introduce myself, but I'm stopped by a vibration in my pocket. Checking my phone, I see that Elliot is texting me. Hey Mason, sorry to bother you, but I was hoping to ask you something. Alright, ask away. Trying a new recipe and I was hoping to test it with you. Would that be okay? Sure, that sounds great. When would be a good time? Well, I have plans later today. Maybe this weekend? That could work. I'm guessing you're in class at the moment. I am. What subject is it? History. Do you like history? Do you? Turning the question around on me is very rude. You first. I guess I don't really see the point. Learning about the past and learning from the mistakes of our predecessors makes sense. But I don't feel like we need to know everything that ever happened just to keep ourselves from repeating. That's fair. However, I think there's a lot to be learned from the past. There are so many things you likely wouldn't do if you already knew they were bad ideas. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Alright, Elliot. Take care. The conversation could not have ended at a better time. I noticed the instructor walk in just as I put my phone back into my pocket. For the next couple of hours, I do my best to let my problems fade to the back of my mind while listening to a boring lecture. I can't help but groan once the class ends. It's the first day, and I already have an assignment I'm not excited to start. I don't know how I'm going to stretch any of the colonial battles across a 5-page essay, but I'll have to find a way. With no idea how I'll write anything noteworthy by next week, I drag myself out of the classroom and walk to the dorms. Passing the club fair on my way to the dorms, I noticed far less people are here than I expected. Oh, alright guys, gotta pause it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been, admittedly, a rather uneventful episode of Psychic Connections, you know, aside from the beginning, but we'll find out what happened to poor Quinn. And I suppose in the next episode, we shall go for a run with Jude and see what happens there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!